Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Art of Inspiration podcast. I have a really great show for you today. And I wanted to dig a little bit deeper into mind body business. Everyone always hears me talk about it. I talk about it on social media, I mention it in my stories on Instagram. Why is it that I always mention mind body business? If you know a little bit about my story, if you've had an opportunity to watch some of my videos and listen to some of the things that I talk about that I went through in my life, you'll know that I hit an absolute rock bottom. And when I hit rock bottom, one of the things that I did to keep myself inspired was reading stories about successful people. At the time, I did it just for that, just to really inspire me. And it became a habit where about every month for a period of 10 years, I read about 2 books. And these books were just all about the life and times of successful people from all different walks of life. And at the time, again, just reading for inspiration. But what I started to realize was that there was a common thread that weaved between all of these successful people. And what was it? They all came from different backgrounds. They all had different professions. Some were CEOs in big companies. Some were athletes. Some were actors, movie stars. So what was it that linked all of these highly successful people together? Well, what I found is that they all focused very intensely on those 3 pillars, not just one, not just two, all of them. So I started incorporating it into my life. I kept telling myself, mind, body, business, focus on mind, body, business. And I would literally take one aspect of each one of those pillars. I would take one aspect of mine and ask myself every single day, how do I push myself mentally? How do I push myself physically? And how do I drive myself forward in my business? Why are those 3 pillars so important? So the first one, mindset. First of all, I'm a big believer in chasing and going after your dreams. One of the problems is that when people go after their dreams, their minds get clouded with all of this outside information that starts pouring in. That could be limiting beliefs and doubt, stories that they hear from other people that, oh, it's not going to work out. And all of a sudden, they're no longer pursuing the thing that really means something to them. So for me, mindset is something that I work super intensely on even to this day. And it's all about focus. So being able to focus, number one, long term. What is that thing that you really want in your life? The thing that you absolutely cannot live without, your ideal life, your dream. And that dream is the life that you should absolutely be living. You shouldn't settle for an inch less than everything you've ever dreamed of. So learning to be able to focus on that one thing and cut out everything else that comes in and just stay focused. The other part of it is short-term focus. As you're going after that goal, it's going to take you a lot of focused work. You have tasks that you need to do, you have things that need to get done each and every day. How are you executing on those small tasks that are going to bring you closer to your goal? And I've learned that by teaching your mind to stay hyper focused, you can compress 3 hours into one. For me, now as a full-time business coach and motivational speaker, it's a lot easier. I have time to do the things that I want to do when I want to do them. But it wasn't always like this. I had a very demanding corporate job and I had to squeeze in the work that I needed to get done either very early in the morning or late at night when I got home from work. So I needed to be able to focus on those things and I needed to be able to compress time so I can execute and get the things done that I needed to do. So that's the first part of mindset is long-term focus. Never lose sight of your dream. Short-term focus. Learn to hone in on those little tasks. And when I mean hone in, I'm talking razor sharp focus. You don't look at your phone. You don't look at your email. You are focusing on that one thing that you need to execute. And you execute it 100%. So that's number one. And I accomplish a lot of that through meditation. Meditation day in and day out after some time, will teach your brain to focus, will teach you to shut out the noise that comes in. So whenever things start to be overwhelming or you start to get too much incoming things coming at you, you just learn to shut it out and focus. So that was one of the tools that I used. And then the other part of it, building your mind, is really just the resilience part. You need to be resilient. As you're on that journey and as you're going towards your goal, you have to realize there's so many things that life is going to throw at you. It's never going to stop. There's always going to be ups and downs, but you cannot stop when life is down. You have to keep going because it's going to continually be like that throughout your life. I see people that have this goal and this dream and they don't go after it because now isn't the time. And, oh, I have all these things. But the reality is there's always all these things. So it's how do you continue moving forward? How do you keep your mindset resilient? How do you stay focused? And how do you keep yourself moving forward? So I tell people you can give someone the tools to accomplish anything. There's a science to building business. There's a science to accomplishment. You can't just give someone a box and say, here's your mindset. You have to work on that. You have to build it. And it's something that takes time. But once you've mastered it, if you've mastered your mind, you can master just about anything. And then the final piece of mindset, I'm a big believer in energy. And I believe that so much of what I accomplished in my life, I've manifested through my focus on my goal. So by being able to really hone in on the things that I truly want and cut everything else out, that became my vision that I saw every single day. My vision became my belief. My belief became my reality. So focus long term, focus on the things that you need to do to get there, stay resilient on your journey, and always believe in your dream. So once you have the mindset part of it down, then I talk about body. Why is body so important? I've been a competitive martial artist for a long time. I don't believe by any measure that you need to be a competitive athlete. But Tony Robbins always says, what is the point of achieving all your dreams if you're always sick and low on energy? It makes absolutely no sense. For me, the body was vital. And I talked about me going into my corporate job and coming home and having to do more work. Well, guess what? You need sustainable energy to be able to do that. And you will get sustainable energy by keeping your body in motion, some form of physical activity through the day that's going to keep your blood flowing, that's going to keep your body energized. And also, what is it that you're feeding yourself? You can't expect to ever hone in on your focus if you're feeding yourself garbage. Whatever's going on inside of your stomach is going on inside of your mind. So for 90% of the time, I have a super clean diet. I keep myself fueled right. I keep myself energized with different forms of physical activity because I know that having the body primed and ready to go, it's not only going to keep me energized to get through my day, but it also feeds the mind. So I have a morning routine. I've talked about it a lot. What most people don't necessarily know about the morning routine, it's designed to change my psychology by moving my physiology. So I will continuously go for a run, work out, anything to get myself moving if I don't feel 100%. If my mind isn't with me 100% and I feel like, oh man, I'm feeling a little down, I feel a little stressed, the first thing I do is get my body moving. If you are not feeling clear and focused, try going for a run and tell me you don't feel good. So keep the engine that's driving you forward fine-tuned. Again, you don't need to be a competitive athlete by any measure, but you got to take care of the engine that's driving you forward throughout your day. So you have your mindset, you have your body, which you're taking care of. You're taking care of the engine that's driving you forward. So then the final part, business. Why is that so important to me? For me, business is literally anything that you want it to be. I've studied people that were concert pianists. I've studied athletes. I've studied people from every different walk of life. Your business is whatever you want it to be. And I think that it should be the thing that you're truly passionate about. You shouldn't spend your life doing something that doesn't set your soul on fire. So when it comes to business, find out what it is that lights you up. So that's That's hard for some people, really finding your purpose, finding what it is that really lights a fire. But once you find that thing, never let it go and master it. If you master something and you solve a problem for someone, if you come in the service of others, you're always going to be able to make a great living from it. And I think that your living, the thing that you do to make money, should be the thing that absolutely lights you up. Life should be nothing short of that. And business, again, for me, something that I failed to really wrap my brain around when I started becoming a coach and I started becoming a consultant, because I just went out. I had all this knowledge. I knew how to help people. I just didn't know how to make it a business. So I had to study the fundamentals of, okay, this is my product. This is my service. The other part of it, the marketing, the advertising. How do I actually do that? How do I take all of this knowledge? How do I package it up and give it to people? How do I make this the thing that I do for the rest of my life? How do I do something that I love in service of others? And that's why you need to master business. So throughout this podcast, for those who have been with me for some time and you've been listening, that's what this podcast is about. I've realized that the common thread that weaves between the most successful people in the world is they focus on these three pillars. They focus on the mind, they focus on body, and they focus on business. So I will be coming on the podcast. I will be giving you the best tips that I've learned throughout my life on being able to sharpen every single one of those pillars so you can become the best version of you. I'm also going to bring on guests that are expert in each one of those respective fields. I'm going to bring on experts in mindset. I'm going to bring on experts in business and experts in health, fitness, and nutrition. And the interesting part is, if you follow along and you notice, I'm going to be asking them all very similar questions. Why? Because at the end of it, I want you to be able to distill what it is that makes these high-level professionals from all different walks of life super successful. So I hope that you find this inspiring. I hope today you write down one thing that you're going to do to push your mind, one thing that you're going to do to push your body, one thing that you're going to do to push your business. And I absolutely guarantee you, if you push the needle on every one of those pillars every single day for the next 30 days, you will look back and have a completely different life. So keep moving, keep driving forward. Never stop going after the thing that you're passionate about. And most of all, stay inspired. Catch you guys next time.